we respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân, nhau đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Saddhamto Suchero Ye Lahudi San Miao San Puto Xie. Nam Mô Tát Đắc Tha Tu Già Đa Già La Đề Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one true and actual principles. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa bai jian wan jian nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ting Lang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、金良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位上智士、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Hòa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa Thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức gia Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 16th of July 2023, half of the year being gone already. Thank you all for joining us at this discussion of the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. It is a sutra where we all get to learn to look at to learn about what the Buddhas can see and what Bodhisattva needs to learn in order to become Buddhas. And so it's it is a way for me, I don't know about you, for me, since day one, I've always found this sutra to be liberating, if you will. It frees me of many, many preconceptions, so that this world is really, truly, truly inconceivable. It's not the way you think, or the way you can understand. So it's fantastic. So thank you all for giving me a chance to explore this with you. Okay? All right, we're at slide number 241. Text says, the thus come one's light is forever bright. Countless Buddhas appear in each and every ray.
如来恒放大光明，一一光中无量佛。
Okay, 242 commentary. It says that here you're learning that light actually is like there are many rays of light. As I look at these lights here, theater lights here in our Buddha hall, my glasses tell me there are actually many, many tiny, tiny lights. Do you see it too yourself? or is it only my glasses? One person says, yes, because she wears glasses. What about the rest of you who do not wear glasses? Do you see that the light actually has countless number of rays of light coming out? Yes or no? Take a look. Don't look at me. People, wake up. Yeah? Thank you. The glasses are fantastic because it's so clear to me right there. Everything is they're like countless rays of light coming out. Okay? And that's what happens to light, the rays of light coming out. Okay? And this light here, it says here, is very, very bright, greatly bright, meaning it's incredibly bright. Okay, what does it mean? It means that this particular heavenly king here, he says, my God, you guys don't appreciate how bright the Buddha's light really is. I have to tell you, it's so bright. For me, every day when I look at these theater lights, I find them blinding lights. Okay, and yet I still can see the rays. Okay, but I imagine that this is the reason why we cannot see the Buddha's light, because if we were to see them, we probably would become blind. It's too bright. So this celestial king here says the Buddha's light is incredibly bright, guys. And each of these, every single light ray that comes out, okay, there's a Buddha that goes with every single ray of light. Wherever the ray of light goes, that Buddha travels. Never mind. One and all, they manifest and work at transforming sentient beings. God, wonder sounds, enters this passage.
各个现化众生事，此妙因天所入门。
Okay, so this celestial king here, called Wonder Sounds, okay, his sound is wonderfully pleasant. That's why his name is a wonderful sound. When he talks to you, he says, oh, you sound, the way you talk is better than the people sing here in our world. You know, what's her name? Coco Lee, who passed away recently. Huh? She doesn't sound even anywhere as good as the way you talk. Huh? And it's amazing because here in our world, we are enamored with the singers, the performers. But here, you have this God here who's enamored by the sound. That this God here, when he speaks Dharma, his sound is even better than the singers here in our world. That's why it's called wonder sounds, incredibly wonderful sounds. Okay, and he, by observing this, by awakening to this, okay, he's certified to this state where he sees these lights. And they see each light coming out, the Buddha's light. The Buddha himself emits very bright light. And every single light has rays with it. And each ray has a transformation. Body Buddha, one Shakmita Buddha, if you will, okay? They will appear. Okay, each and every one of them. I don't know what's semantically one and all. To me, it's each and every one. Okay, because the emphasis is on ge is each and every one, not one and all. Anyway, the one and all, these transformation Buddhas, they appear in these every single ray of light. See? So you have countless transformation Buddhas, transformation body Buddhas, okay, appear in these ray of lights. And wherever they go, wherever the rays of light reach, they will, these Buddhas will go there and transform living beings. Meaning they transform living beings into assets for the world. Questions and comments? Isn't that cool? This is why, contrary to the demons, who only see winning because they see how their own kind, the demons, are destroying our world. Demons come into Elon Musk and use him to encourage the world to destroy us via electric vehicles, because they destroy our magnetic fields. We're magnetic animals. You stick around these, on top of these big batteries, they mess up our magnetic fields. It's very dangerous for us. Okay? Sorry, the other way. If you look the other way, no, never mind. Okay? So they mess up our magnetic fields. They do. It's so dangerous. And I don't know why the electrical engineers are so stupid. No one stood up and said, this is bad for us. What's the matter with you? Okay? And it's dangerous because, yes, years ago we went into combustion engine to pollute the environment, and then, decades later, they'll realize like aspartame and combustion engine technology, they kill us, they destroy us, they destroy the environment. Okay? So I hope, this is my 2 cents worth, I hope you won't get into EVs. Okay? Don't hurt yourself. Don't buy into these stupid specialists. Okay? And you need to drive on an EV or a hybrid, limit your exposure because you can recover. But your children who do not meditate may not be able to recover. Yes, sir, too. We get into politics again?
Thank you, Master. No,
Before we had Dharma, which is a lot easier to attack.
I guess one possibility is hydrogen cars. I know they're...
Absolutely. I'm for hydrogen technology.
I looked, and there's one hydrogen station in San Diego, and I think there are many more in Orange County and LA, but they're definitely being overshadowed by electric cars right now.
Absolutely. And that's why you have to fault our leaders to have no vision at all and listen to whatever is popular instead of doing a thorough analysis of the situation, of the problem. EV is not the solution, not at all. Yes, 8. And someone has to take a stand and say so, okay? It's not popular. I probably sound stupid, but 30, 40 years later, you got to realize that EV is so bad for each and every one of you. It's how bad it is. There's no defense against it. You cannot defend yourself. Yes, 8.
Master, I'm just wondering, do you know if burning hydrogen is a pollutant?
No, it produces H2O. But making hydrogen is still polluting.
So
that's a problem right now.
It doesn't heat the environment or anything?
Producing hydrogen is not good for the environment right now. Okay? So yes, it has drawbacks as well, but it's it's not as damaging as the combustion engine, and it will not harm you. My concern is that you are being fried by your own EVs. Okay? And I worry not only about you, but your children and your elders who are weak, they cannot defend themselves. They cannot recover. Unlike you, who can meditate and recover, the others, they can't. Yes, 4.
In energy medicine, we know that if you reverse the magnetic flow in the body, it leads to confusion in the brain and other problems.
Yes. You don't even need to reverse it. You just only need to mess up with the field itself. You get a lot of problems. This is what the experts don't even know. That's why they shouldn't call themselves experts. Anyone else? We need to speak up, because if we know and we believe it, it's okay to say it. Okay? We have to take a stand. Very much like aspartame. I knew that it's always been very poisonous. That's why I try to complain about Mr. Buffet, who is the biggest shareholder of Coca-Cola, who's poisoning our planet everywhere. Africa, Asia, Americas. Coke is everywhere, killing everyone, poisoning everyone. It's very bad for you. Okay, because my brother is diabetic and he uses aspartame. And I see what it does to his body. Very toxic. Anyway, that's what keep the acupuncturists, herbal doctors like Ho Jiong employed, you know. You guys need to get sick so that you need to go see a doctor. Huh? All right. So these Buddhas, they appear and transform living beings. That's what sages do. They transform us into assets, into good beings. Right? Takes a lot of skills. Okay, that's the end of the verse. Now we go into the next section. This slide here is from Master Ching Liang. He took the Avatamsaka Sutra and he broke it into different groups of sections of the teachings. So this is helpful. So now we go into the section where we have celestial kings who are rulers of the second dhyana heavens, you will. Okay, so think about it. Even second dhyana heavens, which are very low levels, are ruled over by the Mahasattvas. These celestial kings actually are great bodhisattvas. Believe, folks, that they're watching over us. All right? They really care and they want to help us end our suffering. It's not talk. They actually are hard at work every single day. All right? 246. Moreover, celestial king, winsome light, gain a passage into liberation of forever enjoying the bliss of quiescence, and yet being able to descend into the world and eradicate beings' suffering.
复次，可爱要光明天王，得恒受极尽乐，而能降现消灭世间苦解脱门。
Okay, commentary. Again, this is Chinese. You don't need beings here, right? Eradicate suffering is much more powerful. This is what they do. Why do you have to limit to being? It says the world suffering. Chinese says to eradicate the world suffering. I don't know why they added beings here. It doesn't make sense. Okay, could you fix it, please? Remove the being sufferings here on both sides. It's nonsense. It's sometimes I get irked because this is such a beautiful, beautiful Chinese teachings, and the way they translate it into English, diminish it and make it less of a Dharma for you English-speaking people. It's a shame. So they've been hang on to the Chinese secrets And we have a lesser version of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay? So I ask all of you to continue, to keep on improving little words here and there. It makes a huge difference, trust me. When there's a difference between the world suffering as well and being suffering. Okay? Anyway, so this winsome light, 可爱乐, 光明, I don't know why it's translated as winsome. What is the meaning of winsome? To me, 可爱乐 is so adorable. Like you enjoy a child. When you look at a kid, you say, oh, he's so adorable. And this is the exact same reaction when living beings, or especially the gods of the second dhyana heavens, take a look at this king, celestial king, they really adore him. That's what it means. I don't know how it became winsome in English. You English-speaking people, please explain to me the connection between winsome and adorable. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing they're doing. It's just like, it's not that they're seeking for you to adore them, but they just, the way they cultivate, they become so adorable. Does it make sense to you? I have disciples say, like me, adore me. It's so detestable when someone does it to me. Like me? Do I have to? Can I just hate you instead? Yes, 9.
The adjective winsome, it kind of suggests that they inspire delight in those people who look upon them or around them.
That's what it means, winsome?
Winsome.
Inspire
like
delight?
to inspire delight in somebody.
Okay, 5. So we have approval of winsome light from San Diego. One of the most expensive cities in the world right now.
Thank you, Master. I agree with Mary Jo's summary, and I had to look up winsome because I don't know if anybody for the last 50 years has used that word.
Well, it was translated 50 years ago.
So a word that might be used as a synonym could be appealing or attractive.
Attractive? Kind of sexual innuendos here?
Which might be why they chose winsome, since it's so...
They're prudes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir, too.
Thank you, Master. I think there might be also a meaning of childlike.
Winsome?
Yeah,
is
like
childlike?
Adorability, like something innocent, maybe.
Winning hearts, you mean? Like, okay, now it makes more sense. Winning your hearts. Okay, yeah. But I don't like the concept of winning. I'm against winning. I'm more into losing. That's why I talk so much about losers. I love losers, if you haven't noticed. Because I keep on talking about losers. Hey, you're a loser. Yes, 8.
Oh, Master, I was just going to reiterate that. I don't think it's necessary, really. Winsome, you could find it in maybe literary pages, an opening of a statement about someone. He had a winsome smile.
Okay.
So that's the collaboration between winning and handsome and attractive. If you're handsome and attractive, you're winning.
I understand, but the problem I have is this word win. It bothers me. You know, my point here is that when you really cultivate, when you really have wisdom, you don't need to win at all. So for me, they got a name after I die, and don't you dare, after I die, to call me Winsome Master YongHua, because he's like clowning all the time. Yeah, I mean, I'm a loser, okay? Don't ever call me Winsome, please. Yes, 5.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. I'll make sure that never happens.
Thank you very much.
To Jim and Brady's point too, there's a childlike quality to the appealingness of it, kind of like implying an innocence and an adorability. So maybe adoring light could be more understandable in that sense. I don't know.
Okay.
I would never associate adorable with a king. You know, like the last emperor, the movie there, you know, you have a child emperor. They didn't refer to the emperor as adorable, so... It's
adorable and enjoyable in Chinese. He's really adorable and enjoyable. His light is very adorable and enjoyable.
That's perfect.
So is that winsome? I don't think so. Winsome is not necessarily like enjoyable.
I would just say Winsome died on the vine.
I like the boy. I think he's adorable, but he's not necessarily enjoyable.
Celestial King, adorable and enjoyable light sounds great.
Okay, very good. Go for it.
Thank you, Master. The Oxford definition is attractive and appealing in appearance or character, and the origin of the word win is from Old English, which means joy.
Meaning what? Joy?
Win means joy in Old English. That's where the win comes from.
Oh, okay, I see. And let's use modern English then. I don't like Old English. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, well, we can stick with winsome, I guess, but you're right. I prefer adorable and enjoyable. Okay, light. Yeah. Light is so adorable, and you enjoy it. Okay. Okay. So, what does he do? What he does is heng. Heng is constantly. It's not forever. Again, there's a difference between forever and constantly. What's the difference between forever and constantly? You can change it while we're discussing it. Huh? What's the difference? Constantly and forever. It sounds the same to you, right? Yes, sir, 5.
Thank you, Master. I think constantly is active. I'm constantly experiencing leg pains. Forever is more of like, you know.
No, I don't.
Right. Thank you. Forever is more of a macro description. It's not something that's happening to you in the moment. Constantly is. Death is forever, but I died, years ago. Constantly experiencing the leg pains is happening now and now and now.
Okay. Anyone else? See, it helps to have pale-faced people discuss it because we Asians are not as... Anyone would like to say the difference between forever and constantly? Yes, go for it.
Thank you, Master. Constantly doesn't insinuate a timeline, and forever kind of does.
Timing, so it's the same thing to you?
No, they're not the same because forever has like a timeline, and constantly doesn't necessarily pertain to any timeline.
Okay, you're getting close, you're getting warm. Anyone? What's the difference between constantly and forever? There's a huge difference. When you cultivate, there's a huge difference. That's my point. These people don't cultivate, that's why they don't understand the difference between constant and forever. Anyone, what's the difference? Yes, too.
Constant feels like it's present in the present moment, but forever kind of implies a future in time. Constant doesn't have that element of time to it.
And 9? Turn on the power. Is it a power?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Constantly is kind of this sense of renewal consistently in the present moment, where forever is kind of like, oh, it's over and done in the future.
All right, JC.
Static.
Very good. JC.
영원하다는 것은 절대적인 관점이면서 시작과 끝이 없는 것이고 항상하다는 것은 상대적이면서 시간에 시작이 있고 끝이 있는 시간의 어느 일부분이라고 생각합니다.
Master, I believe forever means absolute state, no beginning and no ending, as far as looking at the time. And versus constant means more objective, and there is a beginning and ending. It's a part of time frame. Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, JC. Go ahead.
항상은 계속되는 반복을 뜻하고 영원은 시간의 길이의 의미라고.
Constant means the meaning of repeating. Forever means it's a length of time.
Very good. You got it. Okay. Constantly, what you said is correct. Constantly versus forever. Forever is duration. So forever means that forget about time. Okay? Time no longer matters. Whereas constantly is that for the moment, I'm constantly trying. So that's what cultivation is about. Cultivation is not about forever. Cultivation is to constantly cultivate. You don't say, I cultivate forever. Make sense to you? These guys are celestial kings because they're cultivating. So how are they cultivating? They're not cultivating by forever enjoying the bliss. Okay? What is constantly enjoying the bliss of quiescence? What does it mean, constantly enjoying? It implies that they're making an effort. Forever is, it doesn't change. Constantly will change. Am I making sense to you? When my master called my peers, constant, hung something, what are some of the names? I don't know. What are some of the names? I forgot. Now my mind is drawing a blank. Huh? Hung what? Hung tở?
Hứng lại.
Huh?
Hứng lại.
Hứng lại. Constantly coming.
Yeah. Hứng tở.
Hứng tở. Hứng tở. Okay, hứng tở. He's gone now. Constantly virtuous. You see that? Meaning he's making an effort. They're constantly trying. Forever means you don't have to try anymore because it's always there. See the difference? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. We have 2 YouTube comments on this, 3 YouTube comments. And I'd like to thank our YouTube audience for joining us today with sincere gratitude. Diego Alfonso comments, I think constantly means a constant effort, while forever doesn't require effort.
Very good. Next.
It's spelled D-Z-U-N-G, I believe pronounced Jung?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Jung comments, the difference is YongHua and Hung generation.
Okay, number 3, no comment. I will not promote them.
Third comment from a new member of our YouTube audience, Fights with Spirits. Fights with Spirits comments, constant in this life condition, forever in future conditions as well.
Very good. All right. Okay. So constantly implies making an effort. He's trying. Don't understand constant as something that's fixed. No, constant here in our world means that we're trying. Okay, we're constantly trying to enjoy the bliss of quiescence. Okay, meaning that as a celestial king, he's really not able to enjoy quiescence. He can't, but he's constantly trying to, in spite of his work. So he knows when he becomes a world ruler, he will not be able to enjoy meditation as much anymore. He's constantly trying to. Yes, too.
Thank you, Master. Would the term forever be more applicable if it pertained to Buddha or a Buddha instead of a?
Absolutely. It's not. Buddhas don't cultivate anymore. We cultivate. Absolutely. Very good point. Forever is like Buddhas. They will never change. Constantly means we still change. Anyone else? Okay, so it's difficult for him, but because of his responsibility as a ruler of the second dhyana heavens, the heavens up there, okay? He has to descend into those heavens and to the lower realms, okay, to eradicate suffering. That's what he does. And so what he does is he sees that we are suffering. He sees that the gods in the second dhyana heavens where they reside are suffering. He sees them. For us, we look at the God as so desirable, but for him, he sees them as suffering so much, so he has to descend from his mountain to relieve the suffering, eradicate the suffering. In doing so, what happens when you eradicate someone else's suffering? You take on your suffering. You think there's any free lunch in this world where you can help someone not suffer and no one suffers at all? So what happens to the ghosts who are creating sufferings for you? They're at a loss? Then who are you helping? You're not helping the ghosts at all. So you're picking on the ghosts. You favor the gods and goddesses, and you pick on the ghosts and the demons. See? And so that's contrary to wisdom. Wisdom is that you must relieve suffering for everyone. No favoritism, no exceptions. So in doing so, he sees this celestial king, winsome light here. He sees that the gods in the second dhyana heavens are suffering so much. Okay? And so he has to go become their ruler, to relieve the suffering, eradicate the sufferings, okay? And doing so, he still struggles to be constantly in enjoying the bliss of dhyana. So what is he actually doing? He's learning to be in samadhi while working. Yes? You understand now? How he does it? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. That is massively profound to me.
It's beautiful. You just look at how these beings, it's incredible what they have to go through. You think you're suffering a little bit, cleaning the toilet of the temple and making personal sacrifices a little bit, and say, oh, Master must appreciate me. I don't. Okay? You have to do a lot more than that because we're surrounded by people like this. They're helping, they're suffering for their people. You're talking about countless second dhyana heavens, gods and goddesses who are suffering. And he provides them, gives them relief by taking on their suffering. Yes, 5.
Just as a lay person, I know we've been talking about the concepts of stillness samadhi, movement samadhi. To learn about the concept of working samadhi is so important because I think if you can work and be in samadhi, you can not just help your own suffering, but you're helping others too.
Absolutely, but also is another important point that needs to be made. Okay? Just because you take on all the suffering, okay, it doesn't mean you cannot enjoy yourself. Isn't that cool? You are afraid to take on all the suffering because you're afraid to suffer. He's figuring out how to enjoy being in samadhi, a bliss of samadhi, while at work. Yes, 2.
Thank you, Master. I was just wondering if we call out to Guan Yin and we're in danger and a crash is averted or some other difficulty, who bears that?
And we're different from Guan Yin, of course. Don't compare ourselves to Guan Yin. Guan Yin is in a class by herself, like with the Buddhas. So their states are quite different from ours or from these beings. These beings are still being used the word constant. Guan Yin is forever. Okay? So Guan Yin is a state where she can choose. She can say, okay, I can bear the burden for you and suffer for you, or I don't have to suffer for you, I still help you. But the difference is that she can help us without suffering, and yet at the same time can help the troublemakers that are causing you problems as well. So she's a different class. It's not like us. Okay? Please be careful. Good question. Anyone else? It's kind of cool, isn't it? We're struggling, so we constantly are working, are trying, okay? But Guan Yin is, once you made it, then it's different. Guan Yin becomes Guan Yin. Guan Yin is not known as winsome light or whatever. Guan Yin is Guan Yin. Yeah. All right, very good. Next. 248. Celestial King, pure and exquisite light, gain a passage into liberation of using an ocean of responses issuing from the heart of great compassion to bestow a treasury of happiness upon all sentient beings.
清净妙光天王得大悲心相应海，一切众生喜乐藏解脱门。
Okay. 249. This king here, is pure and wonderful light, exquisite light, sublime light. You can use the word sublime here as well, okay, because it's the heavens of the second dhyana. Okay, wonderful is okay, exquisite is okay. Pure and wonderful light. Now, the name of light in the word light in this name here should be telling you something. Light here refers to the second dhyana heavens, where the gods there emit light, a lot of light. Okay, and they speak with light. They don't speak with sound like us. Okay, so in those areas, they emit light and they speak Dharma through lights. They express themselves through light. In past, they like you through light. They express they hate you through light. I don't know what's the difference in light colors between hating and liking, but you go up there and you find out for yourself. Okay? It's kind of cool that you are no longer restrained by the sound, but now you convey, you express yourself through light. It's kind of cool. All right. Yeah. So the pure light is pure and exquisite, very sublime. Okay. How did he become enlightened? Passage into liberation means here, bluntly, he became enlightened. What's his Dharma door? Okay, his Dharma door. See, you remember we have 84,000 different Dharma doors in Buddhism. See, you're hearing one of the Dharma doors here. As I told you, I have 1,000 Dharma doors. As we learn more about these, I will get 1001, 1002, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, and so forth. We all are gaining Dharma doors. All right? So his Dharma door is using great compassion. See, that's a key word here. Great compassion refers to enlightened beings. Unless you're enlightened, you cannot have great compassion. Forget it. This is why the scholars and the Hinayana, Theravada people have a hard time explaining or demonstrating great compassion because they don't understand it. There's no way for them to read it. The great compassion is from the heart. Do you feel it or not? I know you smart people, educated people are say, I don't believe it, I don't understand. Actually, you don't need to understand. Can you feel it? Do you feel it? Is that clear? I don't care if you agree or disagree. Do you feel it? Yes, 8.
Master, what is the difference between great compassion and compassion we feel for our living beings?
Compassion, as you know it, is empathy. You feel sorry for people who are suffering. Yes? When someone cries, you feel sorry. Do you feel great compassion? No. Let me look at you again. No. Okay. I'm only answering your question. I'm not answering her question. It's different. Okay? Each one's answer will be different. For you, if you see someone that you feel you have compassion for you is empathy. Don't tell me you have great compassion for someone. That's not possible.
I'm just wondering, as a living being, as a practitioner, what is the difference between
great compassion and compassion?
No, empathy.
Empathy.
And compassion.
And compassion is similar. Similar. For you, if you have empathy for someone, that's from your heart of compassion. All right? Like everyone else. We have empathy because you feel compassionate. So it's a good thing to have empathy. As compared to others, I don't care. You are not pale-faced, so why should I care? You're not Korean, why should I care? Okay? Compassion is that, it doesn't matter who you are, I feel for you. That's compassion. Is that clear? Great compassion is something I cannot explain to you because even if I explain to you, you don't get it. It has to come from your heart. It's not meant for me to go to your heart through your head. It doesn't work like that. Compassion is like heart to heart. Do you feel it? Huh? So I'm teaching you to feel it. I'm not teaching you to think about great compassion. You try to ask me to explain to you what great compassion is, meaning I have to go through your head down to your heart. I'm telling you, I can't. That's why people who try to explain great compassion to you, they have no compassion, great compassion at all. That's what they try to explain to you. See, that's what they do. Head, heart. It's heart to heart. That's great compassion. All right? You're still not happy.
I'm afraid that I'm confused. That's okay. I'm stupid, so I'm confused. But I'm thinking that people are going to think, with that definition, great compassion is the love and the empathy I feel for Jesus Christ who died on the cross, compared to the empathy I feel seeing a homeless, starving person.
No, it's the same thing. That kind of empathy you feel for Jesus or someone who suffers greatly for you, for Gandhi and Jesus and Victor Hugo or whatever, okay? Compared to a homeless person, okay, it's the same. It's no different from your heart. But when you have great compassion, it's different. And when you're there, I'm bringing you there. I'm trying to bring all of you there to experience great compassion. You have to experience this. It cannot be described, cannot be explained. Okay? He's still not happy. This guy is persistent, like a Doberman. Want you?
I want the full knowledge of this. So, Master, when we experience great compassion, will we know it?
Yes, you will know it.
Okay.
But only you will know it. I wouldn't. It's a private thing. It's not meant for display. Hey, everyone, I have great compassion. My heart is full of great compassion. No. It's a very private thing. We don't want people to know, honestly. Nah. Compassion? Nah, I don't have great compassion. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. We have a YouTube question. Fights with Spirits asks, can there be compassion or empathy for others without love?
Yes. I have empathy for... I saw a photo of a horse that was in very bad shape. The owner abused this horse. When I took a photo, you see that the skin is so, and she's so skinny, and the skin has abrasions everywhere. That I have empathy for. Do I love the horse? Hell no. Last thing I want to do is love a horse. Okay, anyone else? All right, so this guy here, okay, he harnessed great compassion. You're asking, you're trying to get to there, how do I activate my heart of great compassion? And you cannot put it into words, okay? That's what he's doing here. He says, I have this heart of great compassion. All right? I want you to understand how beautiful the teaching is. Avatamsaka teaching is. You need to appreciate it. I hope you appreciate it. He says, I have great compassion. You see, the proof is that the Buddha says, this guy here, pure and exquisite light, has a heart of great compassion. So far, so good? It's so beautiful, man. You don't appreciate it. Unfortunately, the Chinese and Koreans and Vietnamese don't appreciate it. I want to explain to you so that you, American and pale-faced people, can appreciate it. Okay? So he has a heart of great compassion. So what does his heart of great compassion do? He has an ocean of responses. Meaning that, what does it mean, ocean responses? Meaning that his responses to the people when they are suffering are endless. He doesn't say, that's enough for today. It's closing time. It's almost 5 p.m. now. You have 2 minutes to state your problem. We close at 5. You have to come back tomorrow. Okay? So great compassion is that he says, I see all the suffering of the gods of the second dhyana heavens and goddesses of the second dhyana heavens. I see so many sufferings. And so I have to use my wisdom, my powers, to help them provide alleviation, to alleviate their suffering. Is that clear? And so there are so many of them. So that's why the word ocean of responses. They respond in countless ways. Not just, let me give you some rice when you're hungry. No, they gave them spaghetti, they gave them tacos, just very much like at our temple at lunch. We don't just feed you with rice, we feed you with tacos, we feed you with what else? Spaghetti, pizza, and so forth. You see that? Kimchi and so forth. So the types of responses he does to relieve their suffering is so numerous as the ocean. That's what he does. All right? How? Because before he became enlightened, what did he do? That's what he was doing. The difference between before enlightenment and after enlightenment, okay, is not in the numbers. You understand? Before he became enlightened, he was helping people, gods and goddesses and living being after gods and goddesses. And, oh my God, this is so tiring. Oh my God, these people are so shameless. Oh, these people are so ungrateful and so forth. Why am I doing this? Okay, they're complaining. They don't deserve me. And so forth. Okay, they're complaining. And they keep doing that. And somehow, by doing that, they become enlightened. When they become enlightened, what do they do? Exactly the same thing, but much better. My point, folks, is that they weren't very good, but they kept at it. You aren't very good at what you're doing right now. You keep at it. When you become enlightened, you're much better. You perfect it. Is it clear? That's cultivation. You get better and better and better. You help more and more and more. You're not impressed. I don't care. Too late. I'm disappointed. And to bestow a treasury of happiness upon sentient beings, 喜乐. 喜乐 is joy. 乐 is bliss. Joy and bliss, not happiness. Happiness is a very often abused word in our language. It creates confusion, misunderstanding, and what we should be much better at is joy and bliss. The translation is 喜乐 from now on. Okay, it's not happiness. Joy. It's fun. How can you live without fun? How can you do something without fun? You have to find fun in whatever you do, otherwise you cannot do it in the long haul. Agree or disagree, ma'am? Yes, you say, oh, my children, they drive me up the wall. But somewhere in your heart, say, I kind of like it. Yeah? No, okay, good, forget it. Too much, right? You understand? If you find a way to enjoy your children, you like to have more and more children. Okay, I don't know. I never had children, so please don't take me seriously. Okay? So the point here is that this joy, I want to stress to you that these people have wisdom. And when we do these things, they derive joy out of their lives. They're not sad at all. They're not unhappy at all. They find joy. Okay? They're not necessarily happy, but they find joy in their work. That's very important point to remember. You need to find joy in your work. Do you? Don't answer that. Master Xianjie, do you find joy in your work? Don't answer that. We're still working on it. I told Xianan, I asked Xianan, I said, we are planning for another field trip to Europe next year, next May. Wait, you haven't heard the whole story yet. So I said, we asked to plan for a field trip in next May in Portugal, Lisbon. And so I said, I tell you what, ask Xianan. She have a choice to go to Portugal or back to the US. Which one do you choose? And you know what she said? I don't believe it. He's bringing me back to the US? Hallelujah. I thought he's abandoning me here already. But I said, no, it's only for a short for sojourn. Okay, it's just 1 or 2 weeks, 1 or 2 days. And he says, let me think about it. Let me think about it. And what happened? Is she there, JC people? Can we talk behind her back? Yeah. Anyway, so after a couple of days, I said, you think it over, we need to plan quickly. It's very, very, we need to make early reservation. And a couple of days later, I heard that she wants to go, guess where? I said, it's a choice between Lisboa and Wei Mountain Temple, where your car is. She complained. She said, over there, Kia, well, it's nice, but, it's not the same as my Porsche. Her Porsche, I mean. It's never my Porsche, okay? It doesn't sound right. And so after a couple of days, guess what she chose? Wei Mountain? Okay, I have 1 Wei Mountain. 2 Wei Mountain, 3 Wei Mountain, 4 Wei Mountain, 5 Wei Mountain. They'll go Wei Mountain. You guys are so boring. She chose joy. She'd rather go to Europe. Then seeing me again. See that? And I'm not blaming her. My point is that when you work, you have to find joy in your work. I approve. And then guess what? The Koreans are laughing and say, okay, finally we'll be free of her, from her for, for a few weeks. Okay, joy and bliss. Okay, bliss is from Dhyanas. Dhyana bliss. Do we understand this celestial king here? Story? Next. 250. Celestial king, comfortable sound, gain a passage into liberation, of universally manifesting within a single thought, the power of blessing virtue of all sentient beings throughout boundless aeons.
自在因天王得一念中普现无边劫一切众生福德力解脱门。
All right, 251. Okay, this guy here is 自在因. It's not comfortable, but self-mastery sound. Okay, please make the correction. I think we should bring a step up. You see, our explanation and study of the sutra should be a step up from Master Xunhua's. And therefore, we need to upgrade the English translation when we can. This guy here is a sound of self-mastery. What is the sound of self-mastery? Anyone knows? Why is he named sound of self-mastery? No clues? What is the sound of self-mastery? If you have self-mastery, how would you sound like? Could be paraphrased like that. What is the sound like when you have self-mastery? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I don't know from experience, but I'll take a stab at it. I think the sound of self-mastery would be the sound of emptiness.
Sound of emptiness. Okay. So give me an example of sound of emptiness.
Something I do have experience with is entering low-level samadhi. And I think about when time slows down and the baseball revolutions are moving much slower than it is for other people. And it sounds pretty quiet with like a little bit of a...
So the sound is... Okay, next. What is sound of self-mastery? Go first.
A Di Đà Phật, cái tự tại âm á, theo con nghĩ là bất cứ âm thanh nào ồn náo hoặc là âm nhạc hoặc là tiếng đờn, tiếng hát thật hay hoặc là những tiếng kêu ồn ào không có làm mình khó chịu. Còn áp dụng ở đây là cái chùa Golfores này khoảng 5 phút là một chuyến máy bay phản lực bay ngang. Thì con không có thấy là ồn náo gì hết. Mình trong đầu mình ồn náo cho nó không có làm ồn náo mình. Con nhận ra cái đó là dầu tu trong rừng mà yên lặng hay nhái chim kêu hay là ở đây phản lực nó bay ngang 5 phút một chiếc, 5 phút một chiếc cũng không có nhầm gì mình hết. Tự cái đầu mình không phải tại nó.
Okay.
Emitofuo, Master, I think the word self-mastery sound to me is that any noise sounds like music and people singing or playing guitar, instruments, or any kind of noise will not make us feel uncomfortable, bother. So this application happened at Gold Forest Temple. So every 5 minutes, there's a repulsive airplane flew through our temple, and it's very noisy. However, it doesn't make us feel as noisy inside. So therefore, I think that whether we are sitting here at Gold Forest or in the forest itself, but even though the airplane fly through, it will make our mind become noisy.
Very good. Excellent. Anyone else? You're getting somewhere. What's the sound of self-mastery? Yes, A.
Master, I think the sound of self-mastery, an example would be a well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine.
You look at a Formula One race car engine. It's fabulous. Everything works perfect, exact. And if it does work perfect and exact and it's well-oiled, it's going to be silent.
Excellent. Now, can I give you 2 examples that happened recently, and you tell me whether it's a sound of self-mastery to you? Fair enough? Okay. During the Chanchi, Samachi, and DTT, there are a bunch of kids who are screaming and running around when I was lecturing, speaking Dharma every night. And it was, is that the sound of self-mastery? Yes, 5. Yes or no? Don't give me long answers. Yes or no?
Thank you, Master. Yes, if you are not afflicted by it.
Is that the sound of self-mastery? Someone listener heard Peter's answer and said, I asked, is that the sound of self-mastery? She continues. Okay? You get my point? Excellent. What about never mind. So what are the sounds of self-mastery? What kind of sound does this celestial king here produce that is self-mastery? Yes, Anna? Give her a microphone, please. What sound does he produce?
It's the sounds that exist in the world, but it's just up to us in our level.
Very good.
Know how to absorb them or how to process.
Excellent. Okay. It means that, yes, in the back, what's the sound of mastery? What's the sound of self-mastery? We're getting closer now. We're almost there.
Master, it's like the sound when I listen to Venerable YongHua speaking Chinese. I don't understand, but somehow I feel a relief of something.
Okay. So, yes, 5. Go ahead. Let the internet have a saying.
Yes, thank you, Master. We have several YouTube comments.
Yeah.
From Diego Alfonso. To the self-mastery sound, his sound is with no confusion, in sync with his mind, his heart, and as a reflection of his Buddha nature.
Too much thinking. Next.
Fights with spirits says silence.
Silence, the sound of silence. Okay, is that the sound of silence?
I don't know if Simon
Next.
Garfunkel got it right, but
I think they got it right. If you ask me. Yeah, next.
Ruji says, self-mastery sound cannot be interfered by other sounds, as well as never interfere with any other sound.
Nice try. Anyone else? We have several. I only quoted 3. Okay. The sound of self-mastery is, guess what? You never guess. I gave you a chance and you all blew it. It's his voice. You beating around the bush, you get so close, but it's his voice. Who else is? You are such losers. You don't think it's funny? I find it funny. I ask you, his voice has a sound, has a sound of, he's known as, his voice is a sound of self-mastery. The answer is right there already. But you say, oh, it's like my family, the boy screaming, Daniel screaming, and, all right? You understand the sound of self-mastery? His voice is a voice of self-mastery. You don't find it funny. You guys are trying so hard. Sorry, I had to do it. Yes, 5. You see what you see what I meant by joy? I need to have joy, otherwise, why am I doing it? Okay, go. 5.
Thank you, Master. I really appreciate you clarifying it's the voice of the celestial king of self-mastery sound.
Yeah.
So does he or do they sound like Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman. He, even when he's angry, even when this king here, self-mastery sound is so angry, okay? It's still the sound of self-mastery, believe it or not. Isn't it amazing?
Like angry Morgan Freeman?
So what is it? What does he sound like when he's angry? He may sound angry, but he's not afflicted. Does it make sense? He may say, I like you, but actually he doesn't really like you. Mwah! But actually he doesn't mean it. That's self-mastery. Does it make sense? You are afflicted, but he's not. So no matter what he does, he's not afflicted. And whatever sound he produces, he's not afflicted at all. It's you who are afflicted. So he can be himself. He can scream, he can yell, he can cry, he can laugh, but he's not afflicted at all. So that's why he's fun to be around when you think about it. He's not like, me, supreme master. See, even she chuckles. Isn't it fun? He can be himself. He doesn't worry about what you think of him. Any problem? Isn't that cool? You're looking for something fantastic, like a monument or something. This is so beautiful, a way of living. Wouldn't that be cool? You can be yourself. Huh? And that's a state of wisdom. Within a single thought, I need to finish by 5 minutes, okay? Just a reminder, we cut it back to an hour and a half for sutra lectures, please, okay? We are extremely busy and busier, This consumes a lot of our resources, these lectures. Within a single thought, so he compresses aeons, boundless aeons, a long time of activities into one single thought. You see how condensed that is? The timeline he has. Okay? Is that clear? Then a single thought for us lasts as long as boundless aeons to him. That's how dense his thoughts are compared to ours. Is that clear? It's true. This is state of wisdom, folks. It's not, you don't understand it, but for him, it's like everything is so slow. He looked at you, we used to walk. It's so slow. Everyone in slow motion. Isn't that cool? He's so fast. His mind is so fast. Is that clear? It's beautiful. So he compresses, long periods of time to one thought. What is it compressed? The power of blessings and virtue. What does it mean, power, blessing, and virtue? Let me give you the answer. I don't have time to go to patiently wait for you. I have no self-mastery whatsoever. Okay? So he compresses all these long periods of merits and virtue. The things that these wonderful people do, that's meritorious, that's virtuous. Whether it's building a hospital, whether it's inventing the internet, whether it's feeding the homeless, and so forth. All these merit and virtuous acts, meritorious and virtuous acts, all the good things there, they have been done. They create so much wonderful good, okay? And that goodness there has a power. What is known in my world as, Peter, were you paying attention? We call it the Force. Star Wars fan would appreciate it. But clearly, the Asian don't watch Star Wars. Anyway, see, the force of goodness. When you talk about merit and virtue, it is the power of goodness, folks. So all the goodnesses that all sentient beings that you, all of us, have done throughout countless aeons, all the goodnesses, the power of all that goodnesses, okay, he can manifest. And say, see how wonderful it is. Yeah, cool? Don't think that the small goodness you do makes no difference. It does. More than you realize. Believe. Never mind. Yeah. Questions and comments? So, your blessings are extremely powerful. Meaning that if you have performed a lot of merit and virtue, you accrue these blessings, wherever you are, they will manifest in terms of good things happen to you or bad things that cannot happen to you. Does it make sense? You will not get earthquakes. You will not get tornadoes. Okay? Because your blessings. With your blessings, you're not supposed to suffer. So those bad things are going to happen wherever you are. That's the power of your merit and virtue. Any problems, anyone? Okay, we stop here today. Thank you all.